We are live. I am the Critical Cracker, the host of the Crackerbox podcast. Today I have a bunch of guests, bunch of topics. Let's go ahead and introduce them. Your move.
Okay, I am a son of a blonde, also known as Dane. I am a gay right-winger, and I send people to tow cars.
Gabe, that's your cue. Gabe is.
I think he said he was gonna restart his phone.
All right, you're up, Geek.
All right, hey, I'm Geek Thulu. I do shit on the internet. That's about the best way I can sum it up.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Minding Freedom. I'm a German, a filthy German, and I'm a political and social commentator on YouTube and a student of communications science.
And I'm Rational Outlaw, and I am a... Hold on. Am I unmuted? Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I was unmuted. And I'm also a political social commentator on YouTube.
I'm the commander, currently the only Nazi minority of the group, so I get minority privileges.
What the heck? I'm German. I'm also part of your minority.
People tell me
You're
like
not a Nazi German.
Every German.
When we play War Thunder, we always play Germans. You just want to play anyone else. Like, I want to be with Hitler.
And now everyone is just going to be quoting this, and no one's going to listen. Anyways, we've all introduced ourselves.
Okay, so the topics today don't have to be necessarily in order. Net neutrality, the Star Wars The Last Jedi, and the KRAUT and T drama. I think we should save that for the last one because that is a lot to unload. So we'll briefly talk about net neutrality because people have been talking about that to death, and I'm always late to the game.
Why don't we talk about the Star Wars thing first, then?
Okay. I saw that movie a few days ago, and God damn it! What? Yeah, I saw The Last Jedi a few days ago. Son of a bitch. They can barely hear you. All right, so girlfriend's interrupting.
That's what they do.
Shut up, boy!
Oh, snap.
She got that sass.
Well, she is black, so you know she's got that black sass going on. So
I like me some chocolate, but anyway, I go to the movie expecting. People saying it was good as Empire Strikes Back. So I go to the movie. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then I'm like, I'm thoroughly disappointed. One, what I noticed, besides the shitty writing, is there is a shit ton of active duty women participating in the combat. And I was thinking, I'm like, wait, is that a thing? No, I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm saying that's weird to see so many. It was like a 50-50 thing, which isn't bad. But then it was the whole spoilers alert. When they're in the throne room, when Kylo Ren captures Rey, and then he's with Snoke, and then Snoke's doing his monologuing, and then Kylo catches him in his monologuing by twisting Rey's lightsaber towards him and then cutting him in half. I'm like, y'all have been setting this guy up to be the big baddie for a while, and all of a sudden you just cut him down like that? That's so weak. That is so weak.
I kind of liked that initially in concept, but the way that it was done was just terrible.
Yeah, there was like one of the problems with this movie was subtlety. And it didn't really have much subtlety because the whole point of what Kylo is doing is because Snoke is in his mind and Snoke knows what Kylo is doing, so he's using Snoke's words of suggestion to manipulate Anakin's lightsaber to get rid of Snoke. But like they don't really they don't really define it that well, and so it just seems sort of like a scene that happened. And by the way, that throne room looked like a fucking set. It did not look like a throne room to me.
No, and you know if you're a Star Wars geek like myself, the rule of two: the apprentice is always trying to kill the master at some point. And originally, I'm like, oh, so that's what I was thinking he was doing. But then he's like, I'm gonna be different than the Jedi and the Sith. I'll be better. I'm like, nah, dude, you're an idiot.
I think the movie itself, like, I see where they were trying to go with the Empire Dark feel. But the problem with the movie, like my two big issues with the movie, and I think this could have been an amazing movie if these two issues were dealt with, is one, the comedy. The comedy fell out of place in a lot of circumstances. I mean, there were some greatly delivered lines, like when the ATM sixes all fire on Luke, and Huck says, "Well, do you think you got him?" Like the way he delivered that was good. But then there were other lines in the movie where they're just trying to force this comedy. It just felt unnatural and juxtaposed against.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that I've noticed. Sorry for interrupting. In multiple films recently.
Yeah, it really hit like the last Avengers movie. Civil War? Civil War got really bad.
Yeah, but one that really annoyed me off it was the
Justice
which
League?
one was it again? Yeah, Justice League.
Yeah.
The first half was like serious or serious, and then suddenly it's comedy.
Yeah. But I mean, I would expect that with the Flash. The Flash is sort of a lighthearted character, so that was like, to me, I mean, the Flash's part was fine, but like when I saw Batman like cracking jokes, I was like, "Yo, bro, you are not Adam West Batman. You are a darker Batman." But then the second part of the movie, that if this was tooled right, would have been the subtlety of the movie. Like every character has like this lesson arc that they're learning throughout the movie, and every time that we're met with like the lesson, or you know, when the person is going to understand what their character's been going through and what they've learned, is that it gets beat over your head with needless exposition. So like when at the end, of course, you know, Luke's facing down Kylo Ren, and you have Poe saying something like, he's doing this for a reason. I'm not sure what it is. And then him and Finn have this back and forth, and he's like, "Oh, he's doing it to help us escape." It's just like, well, I'm not a fucking child. You don't need to explain that to me. Just let the subtlety of it, because we'll understand that, and the reveal of what Luke's doing would be much more powerful after that scene's over.
Yeah, it's especially with like the casino part of the movie didn't need to be there at all. It was a waste, a complete waste, man. For real. It's like this subplot doesn't need to be here. They could have come up with a better idea. Maybe had another rebel cell come and help defend them when they're on the planet or something. I liked that battle scene. I liked the cinematography of the film. It was great. I didn't like how Princess Leia did, you know, the Superman through space. That looked weird, but in a lore perspective, it made sense because she is force sensitive.
Somebody showed me an awesome video of her doing that with the Superman theme. Da, 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 da. I was just like,
chat, please.
I was like, this is amazing.
I will say that there was one thing that I saw in the review, which I fully agree with, that even I found troublesome and annoying. The New Order is incompetent in this film.
The New Order.
Why
Skywalker
Skywalker didn't die at
The
all?
Resistance.
No, not the Resistance.
Yeah, he did. Brian, you have to understand.
No, look. They could have kept Skywalker for at least another film. He was the best part of this movie, and having him die like Phasma, like a little bitch.
Okay.
is
He didn't die like a bitch. No. See, you missed a big part of this movie. Then I think Luke dying was a good thing.
You think
Because
he's gonna come back as a Force Ghost? The only way they can redeem this is he comes back.
they've already set that up so many times. Because once you're gone, you're never really gone. He says that. He makes that mention to Kylo about if you strike me down, I'll haunt you. And so yeah, the whole purpose of Luke is Luke bought into his own legend of who he was, and when you have this ego that you're developing, which later we'll get into with the KRAUT drama, you find yourself infallible, and when he failed in a massive way, and not only did he fail himself, he failed Ben Solo, he also failed Leia, and he failed the Jedi Order as a whole, and so he felt like a massive failure. So he goes away and he puts himself in isolation, cuts himself off from the Force, and he wants nothing to do with it. And it's sort of like, in a way, an embarrassment for him. And he's hiding from his mistakes. And then eventually, throughout the movie, he learns that he made mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes, and it's just how the movie is also about choices. So it's about the choices that he needs to make, and he chose to become that legend again in order to re-spark the rebellion.
Person that's coming from the perspective of both sides and not some.
Can you hear her at all?
Sort of.
Am I coming from the perspective of both sides instead of some cheeky, veteran, nostalgic, always looking for nostalgia type Star Wars fan?
I'm gonna have to put down my white privilege card and activate my oppressive trap.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I activated my white oppression trap card. You can't speak for the next 3 turns.
Really? I'm just trying to make sense of it, because basically you have new fans that are coming into the Star Wars franchise.
The fans that like the prequels.
Yeah, the good ones.
But you also have 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds now that were that are now, this is their first Star Wars.
Oh yeah, true. I mean,
The trauma.
So I'm just saying that in order for things to move on, the older people need to leave.
screw that. I ain't leaving Star Wars.
Well,
The older characters, you can't just have Leia
here's where your girl fucked up.
and Han all the fucking time just because you want to reminisce about the past times. If you want to reminisce about the past, rewatch the movies.
All right, sister girl, here's where you fucked up.
Number
one, the whole saga is about the Skywalkers. So it's but the whole story is all about the Skywalkers, the Skywalker bloodline. So I mean, I'm fine with them taking older characters out, just as long as they're doing it in a way that's respectful and consistent with the character. A lot of people's problem with Luke was that he wasn't consistent with the Luke that we see at the end of Return of the Jedi, that he wasn't a hopeful character. But I think the way that the story was told and how they made the whole choice dynamic made Luke make sense to me.
Well, spoiler alert, he almost killed, in a moment of weakness, he drew his lightsaber and almost killed Kylo Ren because he sensed the darkness in him, and
Which pushed him,
which reminded him of Vader. And he caught himself, but too little, too late. He made Kylo Ren without actually realizing it.
I think the bigger problem that we have in Star Wars, referring to your girlfriend, Cracker. Sorry, my brain isn't really. Is that we want good characters to replace the old ones, and it's just Rey. Come on.
I don't mind Ray. I think Ray's good. I think Poe's good. I think Finn's a weak link because they're showing him as a weak character. Every time shit goes tits up, Finn's running away.
By a lightsaber and fucking woke up.
But he was a heroic character at the end of The Force Awakens. He fought Kylo. He's a non-Jedi fighting the Sith, with a lightsaber. That was a heroic thing. Like, to me, that was the point where Finn turned from being.
Of course, he's gonna be weak.
On Takodana, when Rey got captured, that's when we saw the change in Finn, where he accepted his role in all of this, and I feel like they did a disservice of him. When he's trying to escape,
Yeah.
Or at least do a nod to the other Star Wars movies, and instead of having that girl find him, have Poe find him.
The problem that I have with Rey is that first off, when she first appeared, she was quite bland, but at the same time, Luke Skywalker was the same. Let's be fair, it wasn't like he was the best written character. The beginning either.
Who Finn?
No, Luke Skywalker at the beginning. I'm talking about Rey comparing to Luke, because essentially the big problem that I have with these two new Star Wars films is that it's clear that Disney is trying to replace, and the problem that I have is when you add, and when you remove. But when you replace is where I have the true problem.
I don't think they're replacing them because after Episode 9, none of these characters are ever going to show up in a movie again.
Hopefully.
They do have another trilogy planned because I think we got 10 years worth of Star Wars movies that they planned.
We need an Old Republic trilogy, dude, for real. We need a Revan trilogy. The Rise and Fall of Revan. That would be the most dopest fucking thing in the world.
I don't even know if Revan is considered canon now. I think he's considered Legends.
He is, but isn't. Bane is considered legend. Or canon, my bad. Bane is considered canon now. A lot of the Old Republic ships are considered canon.
Oh yeah, Willa Keldroma and
the planet that was nearly destroyed in the second Old Republic's game. What the hell is it called? Malachir or whatever. That's canon now. So by association, at least the second game and maybe even the first is canon.
Now here's the issue with that. Are y'all going to sit there and complain when it's not done correctly, when it's just basically a video game movie in the first place?
It's not a video game movie.
I'll complain. I'm critiquing it.
Where did Revan come from?
He was a Jedi.
No, I mean, where did you know him from?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
So, if they make a movie about Revan, y'all gonna sit up here and complain that it wasn't in contrast to the video game. When you know that all video game movies are shitty, do you really want that to happen?
Yo, Super Mario Brothers is the best movie ever.
Shitty.
I will agree with that. I love Super Mario Brothers. It's a genuinely entertaining film. And
it was no Double Dragon.
In simple terms, if
Mortal Kombat was a good movie, but we're going off topic. So
I will just say one thing: if you want a video game movie to be successful, don't let it be directed by Uwe Boll.
Funded by Nazi gold.
The only director to actually get into fights with his critics, quite literally.
Well, his movies blow.
It was a scam operation.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Tommy Wiseau also likes to file lawsuits against anybody who criticizes the room.
I did not file that report. I did not.
I did not file that report. So, do we want to jump into nitty gritty?
Apparently, Nostalgia Critic has gotten a couple of lawsuits, and the guy who wrote the book, The Disaster Artist, always had to talk to Tommy and say, "Hey, knock it off."
That man
because
is a
he liked the
liar.
nostalgia critic.
That man is an absolute liar.
The problem with this whole Tommy Wiseau suing people is that problem number one, we're dealing with another species. Let's face it, he's not human. He's an alien trying to be human. That was the whole purpose of the room.
Last time I checked, Tommy Wiseau is actually pretty positive about the Disaster Artist movie that's coming out.
Yeah,
I remember
but
seeing
he
an
doesn't like
interview
any
with him.
criticism.
Oh, of course. Well, most
Yeah.
most people don't like the criticism. I mean, if you're an artist, you don't like to hear it.
Really, because Tommy Wiseau's Twitter account is quite insane, and he liked PewDiePie's video of his.
I did not hit. I did not.
I did not report that tweet. I did not.
Hey, Cracker. How in the world did you grow a mustache if you're a cracker?
Eat a lot of ass and booty. And,
I was gonna say he just fell on the floor and rolled around a bit.
He's got a Monopoly Man mustache going for him.
I think my shit's funny, and if you don't, then you're just fucking.
Isn't Maxper working on a new icon for you or something?
Hey, yeah, actually, he's working on a new avatar for me. Yeah.
Warning: it's gonna probably get your channel taken down because he likes to do a lot of extroverted stuff.
Yeah, it'll be a giant penis.
A giant penis, but at the end of it, it's a little cracker.
You rename your channel to the Ookie Cookie.
The cream-filled pie. That's the name of the new channel.
He did a My Little Pony for me. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I cringed because My Little Pony is shit.
Everybody thought I was really a brony. It was funny. I got so much hate. There were so many DMs saying, "What the fuck, man? What the fuck?" I was like, so I played along with it and made people even more mad.
So, are we done with the Star Wars topic? Do we want to?
I could talk about Star Wars all night, man. Like, by the way, Battlefront 2. When are you going to be on so we can actually do that?
We can play after the stream if you want. I'll be down for that.
All right, I'm down.
I think we're ready to move on to the next topic.
Can we skip net neutrality?
Sure, I guess we can.
There's a gay man in the stream.
There's like 4 of us.
Hold on. I thought you were with a woman, Cracker.
I'm bisexual.
Oh, okay. So you're just greedy.
Not gay.
I'm like half gay.
Yeah.
50% is gay. So, I like cuddling is
That woman, like,
else.
they're against her will. Is that woman there against her will?
Yes,
that woman
water at
wears
auction.
that woman wears the pants in that relationship. I'm sorry. I've heard the way she's talked to Cracker.
Oh no, she
See, told you.
What the fuck?
No, but she rips me a new one on a consistent basis, and I love her for it. She's one of the few women that can put me in my place when I
Now
need.
that you said you're bi, rips you a new one kind of puts a whole new connotation onto that phrase.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's some pegging going on. I don't know.
No, God, no. 9.
That was one too many.
9. But okay. So let's.
The only thing I want to say about, and this is all I'm going to say about the net neutrality
She
thing. I know you don't.
beat
You want
him
to
up so bad he left his own stream.
Yeah. If he doesn't return in the next 5 minutes, the stream will be over.
All I'm going to say about net neutrality is that I heard Donald Trump about being for net neutrality, and as a Trump supporter, that's one of the few things I disagree with Donald on, is that, you know, I'm kind of impartial on it, but I think, you know, if it's as bad as people are making it out to be, then we need net neutrality back. I don't know all the details on it, but judging by what H3 said,
I mean, oh, he's back. Oh, good.
The cracker is back.
we were totally not talking about net neutrality behind your back.
Yeah.
Says the guy who's vaping.
Hey,
So,
vaping
fucking
coffee.
vaping's good. Good deal.
I'm gonna say one thing. If net neutrality is improving Gabe's
What
video,
the hell is going on?
Okay, wait. What's
We're reverting back to Cracker.
hold on. Okay, I fixed it.
that noise?
What noise?
I want you to know that I want you to know that I'm putting wood in my mouth.
What? Oh.
Yeah, we know you're gay because you're fucking vaping.
Hey, I'll stick up for him.
I got a brand new.
Vaping's
I got a
good.
brand new. I got a brand new
Hey,
wood kit.
sorry,
Hey,
Yeah.
let me pretend
I'm
to
just
smoke
saying-
because I'm too much of a pussy to actually put a cigarette to my mouth.
Hey, I'm trying to get healthy. That's why I vape.
Screw that. Cancer for everyone.
I'm actually really allergic to cigarette smoke. When I was playing football, parents would smoke right next to the kids on the field. Like the bleachers would be right next to where the players were, and you would see people lighting it up while we're playing football, and my throat would almost close up, and I would have to almost leave the game.
I remember as a little one.
Congratulations on
smokers
congratulations
on
on setting good
How
examples.
about that?
Congratulations on setting good examples for your junior high kids.
I think there's something satisfying about holding a cigarette, but like smoking, there are just so many drawbacks to it that it's not even worth it. Like,
Have
The
you all
moment-
ever had a
Good with
smoke
the
after
God.
sex? It is like the best fucking thing ever. You just suck on that thing after getting your dick off.
Well, that's
and
why I
it's
like.
so good. Sukoi, sukoi.
can I just ask how the heck did we come to this?
I have no idea.
I don't
Somebody
know.
mentioned me
Get back
vaping,
on
and I'm like,
topic. Let's
It
get
was
back-
me, the Nazi, who mentioned vaping.
Okay. It was your
Everything
fault,
else was
Commander.
your fault.
First and foremost, it was a rhetorical question, okay?
All right. So, KRAUT and T, everybody. The clusterfuck.
I know zero about that.
fire, all that shit that happened. Minding and Geek, do you have a perspective on that? Were you a part of that in any way?
What no, I wasn't in their server, but I've been
Okay.
I've been behind the scenes with a lot of people exposing it.
Right.
So-
Minding was in the server
Yes.
briefly, but
Very
you
for 6 days to be precise. I was I'm just gonna start telling. I was invited onto the server by KRAUT. He approached me December 10th, like Sunday, 1.5 weeks ago. And I had one Discord call with KRAUT, with Devil's Advocate, and with Mycroft, who was also one of the higher ups on the server. And yeah, it felt a bit like an interrogation, to be honest. Especially Mycroft was very suspicious of me in that he thought I was alt-right.
I find this I find like Mycroft's whole involvement in this so strange, because I remember me and Mycroft were going on the off the wheel of exposing Zeph as a doxer, because I remember this is around the time the whole Sevi thing broke, Sevi Rose within their little group.
I have no
And-
fucking idea who you're talking about.
But there was like a fundraiser scheme, and so me and Mycroft we're talking, and he's getting me information about everything about how Zeph was holding this video over Sevi's head, saying, if you ever say anything or don't do something that Liz wants you to do, then I'm gonna drop this information. I'm gonna drop this recording of you. And I was like, oh, that's fucked up. And then I had relayed to Mycroft about how Zeph had said that he got some guy's personal information, and he sent in the mail a letter to him addressed from Zeph Anorian to the guy's real name, address, and all this shit,
That's fucked up.
But as a way to let him know that, hey, I got your shit, you know. And Mycroft was like, that's fucked up. And then Mycroft went into a Discord that both him, Zeph, and Sandre were in, and confronted Zeph about it. He confronted Zeph about it, and Zeph admitted to it in front of Sandre, and Sandre was defending him. And like, so I find it so strange, like that Mycroft would be like on board with this shit. It just seems out of character for him. I mean, unless something's changed with that guy that I'm not aware of.
So
the thing is, it could very well be that Mycroft was just that this happened before he joined the server. I don't know when he joined the server. I have no idea about that timeline. Like I said, I joined December 10th, and I left December 15th, 16th or something. When all that shit started to break down, I was like, hell no, I don't want to be associated with that. I don't know the timeline, but it could be that Mycroft joined later and just didn't look into the threads where the doxing was happening, and he just the only thing he probably saw was the false flagging that I think Liz Reptile and I think also Zeph and God, what was that someone else, I don't know.
Lizzie Reptile.
No, I already mentioned her, but no, there was someone else. I really don't know the news. I think it's something Arabic or something. Fuck, I don't.
Habib. Focus break.
And they were false flagging. I think one of Jean-François Gariepy's streams. And maybe he saw that. Maybe he didn't. I would assume he saw it, but if he said, I would be inclined to believe him, to be honest. But if he saw that, I could also assume that he just was like, okay, I do not agree with that, but I'm not going to speak up or something. I don't know. But,
well, there was also a weird video that I was actually watching before Critical Cracker sent me a message about the stream. There was a recording of Liz and Zeph, and they were like talking about like the gulag or whatever that they were going to put on their server, and they were talking about putting Mycroft in it because I guess they had seen him saying things that seemed antithetical to what they want to do.
That seems like mind think. You're not thinking the way we want. It's like we criticize other people for. It's like they're doing the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Mean, I unsubscribed from KRAUT, I don't know, 3-4 months back.
Yeah, I unsubscribed to him around the rage.
Yeah,
that's
first
the
what was it? The race video? Cannot
that
remember
was the
it.
beginning of the
Realism or something like that.
Mine
Yeah.
was due to him like sending that tweet off to his off to her employer, or what he perceived to be her employer at the time.
I thought she volunteered as like a volunteer gig. You don't get paid for it or something.
No, it was a
Gig.
oh my god, my brain's not working now.
It was a political blog.
Yeah, she was interning. She was interning there, but so people try to put up this argument that she wasn't being paid. It was an internship, but you're getting a different type of payment. You're getting experience. You're getting a good reference. You're actually building up a bit of a work history. So that in itself is a form of payment. But the thing is at the time that KRAUT did that, his perception is that was her employer, and he made an attempt to affect her personal life over a YouTube video. Yeah, like to me, it's like whether he got her fired or didn't, it's irrelevant. It's the fact that you attempted that and you built your channel up on being somebody who is pro free speech and has said, nobody should ever be intimidated into silence. Everybody's views should be heard.
Also,
Remember, he went to Austria because of that.
I also would like to add, though, Rage After Storm, although she believed in the whole race realism thing, I don't think she was the kind of racist that hates black people so much as she just thought maybe that they had disadvantages with IQ and all that. I disagree.
Yeah,
with
I'm
her
not even
about
going to
that.
dip my toe in that because that's just
He
no.
just doesn't want to get hit.
Yeah,
again.
ultimately we can assume whatever the fuck we want in people, but we don't know. So I wouldn't try to make any assumptions there.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, on average, the black race has a lower IQ, but you also have to put an annotation on there that we're also using that or some of the people that are brought into that are people from lower educated parts of the world, like in Africa, and you have to go a bit further with why that is.
Yeah. I was just talking about I don't think she was as racist as some people were trying to make her out to be. I think she just believed that stuff, and she wasn't the kind of racist that all black people are awful. She's not like some of the other people who are alt-writers who absolutely dislike black people. I don't think she was that kind. She did have some friendships with some people of color, and she didn't seem like she disliked them because they were black.
Now, this kind of goes around about the doxing question that people were struggling with in the community a while back. Is like, should we dox people? I'm like, no, absolutely not. The only moment you should ever dox someone if someone is in general trouble, like for instance, i.e., pedophile.
Yeah, if you're doing something illegal or planning something illegal, I feel like, you know, you should. I mean, to get the docs, that's fine, but like to publicly release it, I don't know about that. Unless it's like somebody that, you know, you can't track or something like that, that maybe you might want to put, you know, this person said this or that, but.
I agree, Geek. Like when it comes to like this person is doing something highly illegal, then yeah. But when someone's just saying something, I'm a complete free speech advocate, and even if I don't agree with it, they have every right to say what they want to say. It's just you don't dox people for that. You dox them if they're pedophiles, though. I'm 100% behind that.
No, you dox you don't dox them ever. The only thing you do if they're pedophiles, and let's say you have at least, you know, some kind of evidence that they actually diddled with kids.
Well, of course, you have to have evidence first. I'm not saying.
Yeah, you send that shit to the police. You don't publicly release it. You don't dox someone.
You don't.
Police, you tell them there's a pedophile. There's a guy who fucked a kid, who did something illegal. Investigate him. Thank you.
You don't.
I'd have to agree with mine.
All around tailing on people.
Because if you have found evidence of someone doing some form of illegal activity, whether it's a pedophile who's boasting about his conquers or whatever, or a murderer who's talking about that he just murdered someone, you report that to the police. You don't just.
Well, right, and that isn't that in itself getting their information and putting it out.
Really.
Doxing.
Doxing to me includes the public release of that information.
Oh, no.
To me,
I agree.
it means
police.
To me, doxing means what is your. To me, doxing, the more important thing is what is your intent. You know, is your intent to silence the person? Is your intent to embarrass the person? Is your intent to do something malicious? Now, I mean, because some people can accidentally, inadvertently dox themselves, and you could maybe accidentally say it, or you know, you're not thinking about it, and you just say somebody's last name or something like that. That's not a dox. To me, intent matters. So, I mean, if your intention is to release a suspected pedophile on the internet's information out on Twitter, you know, what is your intent for that? Now, if your intent is to bring awareness, there are better ways to do it. You can go to the police and you can report it. You can find out where this person lives and you can report it. Like if you don't have solid information, you just know it is a Twitter handle and you put it out there, that's not bad. And if you show DMs, that's not bad. But to me, it's intent and also a matter of public safety, because you never know, that person might be innocent. And if you're putting John Smith as a pedophile that lives at blah, 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 and then the address and then the phone number, you never know if that because I've been called a pedo supporter by Zephanorian, and I had people emailing me, threatening to expose me and my family because of the things that he said on Twitter.
Shit.
You know,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but like my thing is, you have to have evidence before you just accuse people of being a pedophile. First and foremost, you get the information. That for me, that's considered, you already have their information. That's a dox, and you give it to the police. That is also a dox. Now, if you release it to public information, you're creating a shitstorm. Because once that goes out, like John Cena, whatever, loves fucking little boys up the asshole, then people are going to go after the person. I don't want that.
They can't see him.
I don't think so. They're going to go after John Cena. I think John Cena fans and meme makers will go after the person who said that.
John Cena's real good because he can sneak up because they can't see him.
I just said.
That's my creepy voice.
But,
hey, shut up.
Sorry,
I thought of it first.
My line of reasoning here is, but my point is, don't dox anyone unless there is something where you can show proof that this person is doing something illegal or such and such. And if that's the case, just go to the police. And for me, you giving them someone else's personal information, that is for me considered doxing. But at least with the police, they know what they're doing.
Another person, like, to me that was dangerous was Chambers of My Heart, when she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna, working to try to get Amos's docs," and I'm like, "Well, Amos lives with another family, so if you're doxing Amos in his address, you're putting that family that took him in danger." You never know. Somebody's going to drive by and throw a Molotov cocktail through their fucking front window and burn their fucking kids alive just because, somebody's like, fucking pedos.
No, but like those ass clowns at like Heart Progress. Y'all heard that? Oh, we're really off topic, but
I don't think we're off topic. I mean, we're talking about the
topic,
We're talking about doxing, and I mean, it's irrelevant. It's really relevant to the whole topic.
So I just think the way KRAUT handled it was just awful. And they were doing the same tactics that, as a community, we were. I really don't consider myself quote unquote skeptic, but as a community, that people were saying, "Hey, don't do that. That's fucking dumb." This is the swan song of the skeptic community. It's dead.
Well, I don't think the skeptic community is dead. I think this is probably the best thing that could happen to the skeptic community, because it's actually going to show the people that are skeptical, the people that actually use reason and logic and have ideals and principles that we always tell everybody that we have. We can actually show them.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
I think that in the long term, the quote unquote skeptic community, I hate that fucking term, but whatever, will maybe not in terms of outreach or anything, but will grow from this, like in terms of character, because I feel like every movement regularly needs some kind of self-cleaning.
Or perhaps this is the beginning of a new community forming. Because I don't consider myself a skeptic.
Yeah.
I've always considered
like
myself
KRAUT Route and Jeff and crew might be the atheism plus, you know.
You know,
all those community names. Ugh.
No more communities. God damn it, that's just disgusting.
I frequently reject the notion that there is even this thing of this community. I always like to think in terms of a genre, not in terms of a community, because ultimately this is what most of the people that are somehow attached to this community are doing. They're doing pretty much the same or similar thing. They're doing some kind of commentary, politically, socially, from an anti-feminist and anti-social justice standpoint. And that's a genre. That's not a community. Community would be much closer. You would have some kind of common forum, and I don't see that. And no, YouTube is not such a forum because it's much more open.
Right. Yeah. For me, sorry. For me, my sense of community is the majority of people in this hangout are my friends, like legit. And
thanks for excluding me.
Well, I don't know you, man. We'll get to know you.
I know it's totally fine. I was just trying to make a joke. That's German humor.
But like, hopefully, with Dan and Minding, we'll get to know each other, and then we'll be friends. Me and Outlaw, I've been shooting the shit for what, almost a year now, dude.
Really? I always thought it was shorter than that.
Huh?
We've only been like friends since like the beginning of this year.
Yeah, haven't we?
Isn't it like I figure it was like around April, I think.
Yeah, it's almost a year next April.
Can I?
Go ahead, Gabe.
Can I say something? I've barely said anything this entire stream. I've just made really weird faces and started giving my vape mod a blowjob. For me, I am my own self. I'm trying my best to get out of, because it's getting boring talking constantly about feminism, and it's just a copy paste of the same old stuff that you say every single time. I mean, it's getting kind of old, so I'm trying to find other things to do with my videos, and because I like making. I like doing social commentary, which is stuff that I'm always going to do because I like giving my opinion. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm wanting to shift the genres a little bit because I'm tired of constantly being, compared to, even though I love Jeff Holiday and people like that a lot of feminists don't like. I'm my own human being. Respect people like Jeff Holiday. I'm a Christian, they're atheists, but we still respect each other. But I don't want to be part of. I'm tired of being told by other atheists, no-name people that are like, "Oh, you can't be a skeptic because you're a Christian." I'm tired of that. I'm tired of also using the term skeptic community because we're all people who are just in the same genre of music, of movie making, like I believe it was Rational Outlaw said, or Minding said. And it shouldn't really matter.
Yeah, but
what your religious beliefs
we're talking about the sense of community. Like what makes that for me, it's me getting friendships with other people online and actually having actual real, well, we haven't met in life yet, but once we get to that point, these are hopefully relationships that we'll have for a very long time. However, with online, you got to be careful who you talk to, who you trust. And for me, a community is coming together on things you like, things you like to talk about. And I like talking about stuff like you do, Gabe. And I think
I like
with
anime.
my content, I'm veering more often and like maybe dipping my toe in like games and stuff, and because a lot of stuff going on in the feminist community is just fucking boring, like you said.
Well, like what Gabe was saying, it's like there are a lot of people, even the bigger channels are having this identity crisis. I've been talking to Andy, and Andy wants to change his platform a bit. He doesn't want to focus solely on social commentary and that be his only thing. He doesn't want to be a one trick pony. And like I was telling him, and I guess advice I would give you is do something that you're actually passionate about. And it could be just movie reviews. And I mean, you don't even necessarily even have to change your genre at all. You can still appeal to all these same people. I mean, you could talk about Star Wars. You could talk about movies and how social social norms apply to them, like comic books. You could do that. There are so many different things that aren't just limited to just yelling at some fat pink-haired lady. You know, it's
Movie suggestion: Blazing Saddles, and how
Stop.
appropriate it would be today.
Where are the white women at?
My thing is, I'm just done trying to like. I think even when crap hits the fan, I don't
mean
try
to
to
cut
please
you off.
people.
See, don't try to appease others. Appease yourself. Do the things that you like to do.
Yeah.
Don't that's where I think a lot of people run into a problem, like Jeff Holiday and KRAUT and T, is they're trying to please others. They're trying to live up to this ego or this legend that other people have built in their head of what they think you are. And instead of doing that, just be who you are and talk about the things that you like to talk about. Because if you're genuine, people will be interested in what you're talking about.
I seriously disagree. I feel like you need, at least to some degree, you need to please yourself with your content. I mean, it totally doesn't make sense to do content completely against yourself, basically, or against your own personal interests. But I found the term one trick pony very interesting. I think that's what most people on YouTube are. Whether you look at I mean, let's look at the biggest creator on the platform, PewDiePie. At this point, he is a one trick pony. He's doing game stuff, and he's sitting in front of his camera in his studio, and he's just going on for 10 minutes. Most of the time, he's not even playing anymore.
But he comments on social things, and he does it in a funny way.
Yeah.
Even PewDiePie came out with a video that said, it was titled like "Why I Don't Play Games Anymore," and he even said he does not want to be. He likes video games. He always will like video games, but he's just bored of constantly doing the same thing over and over again. He wants to do other things. He wants to vlog more. He wants to get out there and do things that make him happy. And if it makes him lose subscribers, it makes him lose subscribers. But he wants to do more stuff that makes him happy. And quite frankly, I agree with that mindset.
You know what? I agree with you, Gabe. And you're gonna be seeing some weeboo content on my channel. I'd be talking about card games I played, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, and even comics. So I plan on doing a deck overview once I get all my cards in.
Unfortunately, I heard from one of my friends that Magic the Gathering is actually turning more social justice-y.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's it's turning social justice-y. I just think something happened that somebody got triggered over within that community. I don't think it's been any shift. Just like when I hear people say when I hear people say, "Oh, comics are really social justicey," I'm like, have you not been paying attention to comics at all over the past 30, 40 years? They've always been like that. They've always gone with the counterculture narrative, and it's just that's the way it's always been. There's always been special interest groups. I mean, X-Men are based off of the civil rights movement.
Yeah, that's obvious.
True. Oh,
To be fair,
speaking
I
of
just have
X-Men, guys. Speaking of X-Men, Disney bought all the rights from Fox, so we are gonna get a kick-ass X-Men movie. Who the fuck is hyped? I know I am. Hopefully they cast the right people, because the last Wolverine, Hugh Jackman was one of the best Wolverines in my opinion so far.
I'm ultimately happy that Sony's playing ball with Disney, so they've allowed them to have Spider-Man. So we could actually get a good Marvel movie in general, like a good Avengers movie overall, because now we do get the X-Men into that series, and then we also get Spider-Man, and that's going to make for a more expansive universe coming forward, in my personal opinion.
Oh, Fingerprints in here. What's up, bro?
X-Men, like the only good X-Men movie was First Class. That was the only one that I liked.
Do you think we can get back to the main topic that we were originally on?
I'm gonna dox Magneto. His name is Eric Elisha.
I got his Auschwitz
it took
document.
me forever to figure out that. It took me forever to figure out that the blue chick, I forget her. Hold on. The blue chick. It took me forever to.
Hello. Game. What are you doing?
Just talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, that was anticlimactic. So back to the whole mess with Kraut and T, and people, collectively lost their shit. I know Zeph and Liz kind of threw Kraut under the bus.
I just have a question. How many people were actually ones involved in the whole doxing portion and the flagging of videos?
That's what we're still trying to find out, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's
how many people know?
I think that's something no one can comprehensively answer you.
Like with Jeff on the Warski stream and a couple of other streams. I think he was on the Cunt stream and another stream. We see that Jeff knows more than he's telling us.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps retconning and changing his story a lot.
Perhaps he might have also been behind it, because I know there was another person, the constitutionalist libertarian, because he despises Jeff Holiday, and he's told me that I cannot say for certain, but he said that Jeff has doxed people or something. That's what he's told me, but I don't know for sure myself.
Yeah, there's the allegation that Jeff went to Kiwi Farms to find information about Coach Red Pill. And but then he was like, "Oh, I was researching a camera, and that's where I found it." But then he mentions Kiwi Farms. It's like, well, why are you looking for a camera on Kiwi Farms? And like your story makes no sense.
He changed that. Well, he first said, "Oh, I was looking for a camera," or no, he said I was looking for why.
Man, you're echoing really bad, dude.
Okay, well, if I can just figure out, so. We do know Zeph and Liz were behind this doxing and flagging, correct? They were part of it, at least.
Yeah, they were part of it. Like, okay. I don't think they were like the sole actors in all of this. I think Kraut is trying to save himself by throwing people that are already known for this type of behavior and are generally disliked in the community. So it's easy for them to make them the scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
So
we believe Jeff Holiday behind it as well in some way or form. And Kraut, do we know for sure if he we believe he was also.
Yeah, I believe KRAUT was responsible for organizing it. I think that Zeph was used by KRAUT because knowing what Zeph is capable of doing and what Zeph has done in the past. I don't for 1 second believe that KRAUT didn't know anything about his shitty ways. And Jeff, I don't think he was behind any of it, but I think he participated in it. Liz, I don't really think I don't think Liz was anything more than a stupid cheerleader, but she was saying some dangerous and dumb things.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, someone in one of the huge threads that they were talking about Liz and stuff, they actually showed a picture of her, and she is super skinny.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
She's.
Hey guys, sorry about that. There are a lot of people in my house, so it was like getting ridiculous. So I'm in my mom's car.
Oh yeah, that's okay, dude. But she's kind of attractive, but like
What?
I think that's kind of unimportant to the conversation.
Who have you?
No, it doesn't have
Yeah, it is.
my opinion.
Hey, Finer Print, how you doing?
Doing good. What a shit show. Huh?
So, Fingerprint, you said you had. What do you know about this situation?
Oh, I mean, I know what everybody knows. If you watch the stream, there was a war stream.
Okay,
Who
I could
keeps
not
feeding back.
understand
Somebody
just
keeps
that.
feeding back really bad.
It's not me.
Hold on.
Cracker, I think you.
Hold on. Let me mute you real quick, dude. Sorry, Gabe. 1 sec. All right, go ahead and talk.
1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Echo.
Yeah, it's him.
Sorry, Gabe. So yeah, I mean, if you just look at the Kun stream and if you look at the Worski stream and all of the stuff that's been coming out by Edgy Sphinx or Brave Ruin, whatever you want to call them, all that stuff that's been coming out, that's all that we know. And KRAUT, I don't know if you guys know that, he just shut down his YouTube channel, basically took down all of his videos, shut down his Patreon, issued an apology, which many thought was incomplete, myself included. I mean, I wasn't involved in any of this. I'm just sitting here eating popcorn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't seem like an apology. It seemed like more of a diversion.
It was an apology. He apologized to specific people for what was done, and he's like, I'm claiming responsibility, but he didn't apologize to everyone, including the people who are closest to him. People like Sargon, people like V, people like Uzulu, people who've been trying to help him and tell him, yo, you know, back off, man.
I want to point out in the chat,
right?
Hmm?
Remember what he said about V? There was this video from the server that they were talking about, and the crowd completely threw V underneath the bus. I mean, V made an 8-minute long video, I think it was.
Oh yeah, V completely incinerated the bridge on this one.
By the way,
Yeah.
do we know why Aiden Paladin was on that list of public interest?
She's conservative and she's friendly with JF apparently.
yeah. I want to point out, Big Fat Brian in the chat said he DM'd the Kiwi Farms to a couple of other YouTubers. Hey, send that to me, Brian.
But how would her
just
just being conservative make them think that she's some kind of alt-righter person or whatever?
It's the guilt association, and I think it's things that she said on her videos. I'm trying to remember whose video it was when she was saying that the left can't debate the alt-right. It was a super collab by somebody. I don't remember who it was. And I think it was misconstrued by a lot of people that she is alt-right or that she's friendly to the alt-right. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Labeling other people just because they said something. It's
I think it's mainly because she's really friendly with Braving Ruin and
so what?
Well, no, but I'm just saying that's the reason why I think she was on the hit list.
Basically,
I'm friendly with ranting feminist. Does that make me a lefty?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes you pathetic. No, I'm just kidding. I'm friendly with Tim to motivate her opinion. So that's like,
I'm pretty friendly with a few different people who are on the left.
yeah.
I'm friendly with both a neo-Nazi and a Ku Klux Klan member. They're both funny. Also, they're all on Facebook. They're not on Twitter.
Genocide is such a punchline, isn't it?
Genocide. Guess what?
Am
Genocide.
Am I still echoey?
We don't
No,
know.
you're good, man.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know what was going on. My phone was having like a conniption.
But,
Hey, Dan, you okay? You haven't talked in a bit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I didn't know when to chime in. That was the thing. It's like I had a few points. I think on the topic of the skeptic community, I would say that it's common for people to talk about like something that fits in that genre of like social justice criticism and like shitting on feminism and shit like that. But at the same time, I think that calling it a community, I think it's more based on like the social circles of who talks to who. Because I mean, all these people can talk about the same things and they're not necessarily together on it. Like they don't, because it's on the internet and we have like all these different, I would say, areas where you can like totally not hear what someone's saying, like, for example, like someone could say something and then someone else like may not hear it. So I wouldn't really call it a community until the social role comes in where people start having a conversation with each other.
Oh, it's a Chinese fire drill, isn't it? It's Chinese telephone rather. You say something at first, and then by the time you reach the 8th or 9th person, what you said has been completely distorted and lost all of its original meaning.
I think they call that Chinese whisper.
Chinese whisper, yeah. Sorry, Chinese telephone.
Hey,
or again.
Did you see that in the side? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't follow him, and he doesn't follow me. So
You want me to send him the link?
yeah, I'll post the link in the chat. My bad, guys. Hey, Queen, what's up, Prince?
Hold
What's
on,
up?
I'll send it to him directly.
Hi.
Hey, Prince.
Hi, Prince.
Who's big fat brain?
Oh, he's a funny dude.
Yeah, he does more than fuck up food. He's actually a smart dude.
Yeah, he's really good. You should check out his channel.
All right, so you were saying, Dane?
Oh, well, and then in terms of doxing, I think that a lot of people, it's like, oh, well, this is justified. It's justified doxing. But at the same time, when you think about it, like, what happens if you do fuck up? Like, you do dox someone, and at that point, like, they were innocent, And if something happens, like someone throws something like into their house or hurts someone, I mean, you're kind of involved at that point. And I'm not sure what the legal repercussions are, but I could imagine that there would be some.
My point is on the doxing issue, if you get their information, that's doxing. If you give it to the police, you are giving someone's personal information to the police. That is also considered doxing, in my opinion. In that regard, if someone's doing something super illegal and you have evidence to prove such, then by all means go to the police.
Okay, can I just very quickly, very briefly read the actual definition of dox or doxing?
Yeah. Sure.
Search for and publish private or identifying information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent.
Well, by that definition of doxing, Candace Owens did nothing wrong.
I honestly don't think Candace Owens did that much wrong, to be honest with you. I think she's just in charge of a fucking dumb site that was idealistic in nature, and I think she was thrown way. I mean, she should have been held accountable for such a bad idea, but like to act as if it was like nefarious and was like fucking rubbing their hands together, fucking movie villain. I don't see Candace that way.
But one could argue that.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing on the whole Candace Owens bit. She, in my personal opinion, is a little slimy. Like Andy Worski said, all she had to do was say, "Hey, this was an active site. It was a dumb move. I took the site down, but it's taken care of." And that's all she had to do. but she kept defending herself and even got to the point where she would block anybody that would talk negatively about her, and she would even take comments off her channel.
I guess, but I mean, you know,
So
apply that exact same logic to the people that were in that server, because these people are people that made videos about Candace Owens, you know, and they did sort of the same thing she did, and they disavowed that.
I think people have other contentions with her though, like they have other issues. Other than the whole doxing thing, I mean, I'm not going to speak for other people, but I would say that her delivery is sort of strange. It's not typical of some of the other people that I watch. So Blair White was like, oh, well, it's kind of like reading off cue cards. Like that's what she sounds like, or something along the lines of that. And I mean, I would somewhat agree with that. And I can see why when people search for other reasons or they end up with other reasons to not like someone, it makes it so easy to villainize them.
Hey, I just have to interject myself real quick. It's funny that Blair says that because now that I think about it, Blair kind of seems like she sounds like she's reading off cue cards half the time.
Well, isn't everyone well, not everyone, but aren't a lot of people in a sense reading off cue cards because people have scripts for their videos?
All my videos are scripted.
I don't have a script, but my videos are bad.
No, I mean I just stumble and mumble all throughout.
I'm too fat, lazy, and full of ADHD to script my stuff.
But I don't even think that was Blair's main criticism. I think it was mainly that she just came off as very disingenuous. Like she just seemed like she was branding herself as like some big brand to make money rather than someone who actually wants to contribute to the conversation.
I think Blair is a complete token. I think she's a token. I think some black guy's a token. I think Bunty's a token.
Bunty is so a token.
Yeah, and also on the topic of like the hypocrisy of it, I think one thing, the big difference in a lot of this, and I guess how I see it, is that there's a lot more information about the KRAUT thing that keeps coming to us to show us like certain people are complicit in all of this and some of the dirty dealings in it. Whereas with Candace, there's still a lot of shit in the shadows that we don't know and probably never will know in regards to like her participation in the site.
I miss the days when gay guys could be tokens.
All I want to say about this,
Dave Rubin ruined it for everyone.
Yeah,
he did. He really did.
All I want to say about this whole KRAUT and T thing is that I've purposely stayed away from this because, quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of internet drama. But whenever I'm in chats like this, I'll give my 2 cents. But at the end of the day, things will come out. Truth will be revealed. I'm still going to respect everybody you guys have mentioned, Jeff Holiday, some black guy, Bunty, until I find out that they're, doing something that's completely wrong.
But it's been out there though, Gabe. I mean,
I'm sorry.
There's been pretty damning evidence already out there.
So wait. Can someone just say what is the KRAUT and T drama? Because this is something that I haven't even followed.
You living under a rock, Prince? What's going on?
Yeah,
I thought you had your ear to the ground.
I haven't been 5 days into the fucking.
Prince has been under a gay rock for a long time.
Well, the thing is, I haven't been able to stream on my channel for like over 2 months now, and then even before that, I wasn't streaming much because I quit drinking, and I would usually drink and stream, and that was sort of my habit, and then I quit, and then it was like, oh my god, I am antisocial, so I don't feel like streaming. So I really haven't been streaming very much for like 4 or 5 months, really. Probably more like 4 months. What exactly? I probably have heard of the KRAUT and T drama, but I don't know. Just say it in like a few sentences.
Brian's got some good information, and I'm sure Brian can sum it up.
Okay, I'll sum it up. Basically, there was a Discord server in which multiple people from the Skeptic TM community decided they were going to gather information to make videos, right? And this is just like, we'll call it a study group. That was the original intent of it. So that you could have good arguments that were scientifically based against the alt-right. Because, I mean, I can understand people not wanting the alt-right to be considered the right group. And what happened was it turned into, we have separate little what are they called, the forums, the threads, separate threads where we have personal information about other YouTubers. And then it even got to the point where they had separate servers, for instance, like Coach Red Pill, which, by the way, not exactly a fan of his, but I can see why he was so fucking angry. They had side servers in which they literally had the guy's name, the things he had done regarding his job in the real world, and a lot of other stuff. And then they started, a couple of people started using that. For instance, Jeff Holiday tweeted at him with his first name in a way that was threatening, saying that he would essentially imply
that he knew.
Yes, that he knew who he was.
That's annoying.
Can I just I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here.
Don't do that. That guy's persona non grata now too.
No,
yeah, he's screwed.
Devil's advocate. No, I was talking about the phrase devil's advocate, not the YouTuber. What Jeff Holiday said on, I think, a Worski stream is regarding that claim that he used Coach Red Pill's first name in tweets to let him know that he knows who he is. That he used the name Gus, and the first name of Coach Red Pill isn't Gus or isn't close to Gus.
He said, I don't know, and then he said that, and he's been caught lying multiple times, so I would say his credibility is not the greatest right now.
Look, I just said what I know as information from watching the Worski stream.
And I do want to say something else about him being on that Worski stream, is he basically, in front of 3,000 people, told everyone where you can get Coach Red Pill's docs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's right there.
Not just that. He also said it in the Cun stream, I think, a day earlier or so.
Hey man, I'm just looking for camera equipment. That's all. I like Coach Red Pill's camera. I figure I'd contact him by getting his personal information from Kiwi Farm.
I want to be perfectly straightforward with you guys. I do sort of consider Jeff Holiday like an actual friend of mine. Not like a good friend, in the way that it's not like him and I have ever hung out one-on-one and talked and whatever. But I've been on the YouTube Saints twice now, and I've met him in person twice. So I do, like, there is that weirdness of like, okay, we're talking about an actual friend of mine. What is Jeff's problem with Coach Red Pill? Because I don't even really know who Coach Red Pill is.
They really hate each other.
Okay, so Pill
they can't stand each other.
I actually have watched a couple of his videos. Coach Red Pill is somebody who considers himself alt-right. And also, he comes up with, I would say, somewhat disingenuous argument for certain things. And he sort of is out of touch when it comes to his arguments. Like, he'll use references that are from, like, the 1970s and stuff, and you're just like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Well, he's old.
He's talking about the 70s. When he was young.
I know guys older than Coach Red Pill who don't talk about the 70s or times before that as much as he does. So
no, my father is in his mid-60s and he won't shut up about the 70s.
I'm just saying, I know people that are older and
I remember the 90s.
I just wish that Coach Red Pill would stop going in every video. He's always like smacking his lips. Like, it's so annoying.
Well, I mean, this is the
This is now going to be a trend.
I remember the 80s.
I want to be.
Well, I have big fat lips, so it's kind of hard for me not to do that.
Aren't you mixed, dude?
Yeah, I'm half black.
That explains it.
I do.
I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke.
I'm a Negro.
I figured that, but what is the other half?
Are you only half a black?
I'm a Negro.
Jesus Christ!
Isn't this what got KRAUT in trouble?
It's always fun. It's always fun getting into conversations with people who are pro Black Lives Matter, who are the insane ones, and they'll first be like, "Oh, Black Lives Matter is for you too," and I'm like, "No, it's not. I don't like Black Lives Matter at all." And then in the next breath, they'll be like, "Oh, you stupid N-word half-breed coon cracker, curse me out," and I'm like, but I thought Black Lives Matter was for me too.
What does the coon cracker look like?
Sort of like an Oreo.
Has
that coon cracker?
I feel like we're drifting off topic again.
Do we have any other comments, I guess, about the main topic, or do we?
I see what it is.
Did you guys touch upon net neutrality at all?
Real quick before we switch topics here, I did want to say, look, I understand where you're coming from with the whole Jeff Holiday thing. You're personally a friend of his. It sucks. Sometimes good people do shitty things. That just
no, and I absolutely think that that's true. And I'm not like, okay, first of all, I'm not like really a friend of his. I would consider him a friend, but I don't feel like I know him well enough to know like I wouldn't vouch for him that he's a perfect guy or anything, because I don't know him that well. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm friends enough with him where I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to not defend him in a conversation if people or sorry, not necessarily defend him, because I can't defend him because I don't know him that well. But I at least have to give him the benefit of the doubt because I'm friends enough with him because of that.
So kind of like someone you work with, like closely, kind of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's had me on the YouTube Saints twice. I've met him in person twice.
So
what?
You can't, like, I mean, I understand somebody's your friend, but you can always tell your friend, like, hey, you're fucking up, and that's
not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying that I need to have very clear information about that.
Oh, it's out there. It's really easy to find.
I think what Prince is trying to say is that, okay, if you guys, and this is me just being in the middle, I'm impartial to this whole thing in general anyway, but I think what Prince is trying to say is that, okay, you guys are talking about Jeff Holiday. Prince does not have any clue one way or another what's true, what's not true. He doesn't have all the facts. He doesn't have all the information.
I don't have like any,
and so he's. Sorry, Prince.
I don't have basically any of the facts or information.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know nothing either.
Yeah,
I have respect for Jeff, but I don't know anything either. But what he's trying to say is he needs information. He needs details before he can make any judgment.
Yeah,
and he's not.
And since we're talking about him, it is putting me in a little bit of a strange position where it's like, okay,
how is it a strange position? Like I don't understand
about somebody that I literally do speak to on a personal level who likes me and probably doesn't know you guys, and he will automatically probably.
Oh, Jeff knows who I am.
Okay, well, I don't know that. I don't know that.
He doesn't.
And Jeff, but Jeff would probably assume that I would side with him because Jeff assumes that I'm his friend.
Yeah. Guys. I don't think it's
fair. And also,
guys,
I think it's also putting Prince in.
Hold on.
Sorry. My apologies.
I don't think it's fair to put Prince on the spot here. You know, to ask him to defend Jeff's action.
No.
Nobody's asking him.
Yeah, don't do that.
Why don't we just skip the whole Jeff thing? I think we can understand.
I am taking issue with the whole. Well, he's done me favors, so you know, I don't feel like I should say anything at all, and it's just like,
No, I'm not telling you not to say anything at all. I'm just saying, don't.
No, I'm saying that's what Prince is saying.
No,
Okay,
that's not what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't think you are. Like, maybe no one has ever done something for you or something.
Okay, I just have to interrupt here. Why don't we move on? Because I can tell that it's kind of getting heated right now. So why don't we move?
This is getting really heated, and it shouldn't get like that. I don't want that to happen.
We don't need.
I'm actually going to bounce, guys. But thank you.
Okay,
I agree.
All right,
Hey, Finer Print.
Yeah,
Finer Print. Good talk to you.
Yeah, good talking to you.
Bye, Finer Print.
Good talking to you, man. Come back on later.
Yeah, man.
You're welcome on my stream anytime, dude.
Yeah. Send me a link.
Okay.
You and your fake Asian self.
I'm not getting heated. I'm just all I'm saying.
Let's
Because
just
I need
move
to
on,
clarify.
okay?
I'm just a fat.
I just need to clarify.
I'm
what
just
I'm
a
saying.
fat dude. I'm just a fat dude who wants everybody to not fight because I just want this to be a calm stream.
People fight. That's what happens.
Yeah,
but we're not
I don't
fighting.
think the opposite.
You guys, I think it's worthwhile for both of us to clarify our positions because I don't have a problem with Geek Tahulu, and I don't think that what we're going to be saying is actually at odds with each other. But I think that we both should clarify our positions because I think that I think he'll understand what I'm saying, but I want to hear what he's saying, and I'll explain why what he's saying is not at odds with what I'm saying because it's almost certainly not.
Shoot.
So,
okay, well,
yeah, you go first.
Okay. No, what I'm saying is that I understand he's your friend, and there's mounting evidence against supporting everything that we're saying. Now I understand that you don't want to say anything, but to me it's almost sounding like you just don't want to say anything at all or even comment off of something that maybe we say, like, oh, we saw this, and then you're just like, well, I don't know about Jeff. I don't really want to talk about that. And to me that seems like, I understand giving the benefit of the doubt to your friend, but when you hear people say things and there's just this tone that rings through everything that you're afraid to say something because he did something for you before, and I can understand that you have a loyalty to Jeff, but loyalty only carries you so far.
Okay. I think I get what you're saying, and that's what I thought you were saying, and I want to clarify what my position actually is because that is not a position that I take, and I know exactly what you're talking about when people do that, and it is annoying. That's not the type of person I am. I will call my friends out when they do crap, and I will I consider myself more than anything a very fair person. But what I am saying is that considering this is somebody that I have, a personal connection to, if Jeff Holiday knew that somehow I got involved in the drama, I would likely end up in a conversation with him in the future about it. So what I'm saying is that if I'm going to hear about this, we need to just be very thorough and cautious so that I can form an accurate opinion because I'm not going to go into this uninformed because of the fact that this is a person that I have a personal connection with. So either we're going to change the subject or I'm going to get very informed. But I think for the time being, for the purpose of this stream, it might be good just to change the subject, and then I'll try to learn about it on my own time.
Oh, all right. I mean,
I
don't mean to sound rude, but everything is on fire. Star Wars, KRAUT and T, net neutrality. I mean, if you don't know about one of the major topics that we're talking about, why join the stream?
Because Cracker.
And then to suggest,
and he left. Awesome.
Well, hey man, like I'm sorry if I'm holding a stream about which race has the biggest nuts, and somebody's never seen nuts before, I don't think that they should join a stream talking about.
Here's my issue. Here's my issue. Cracker invited us to this stream. Whether or not we knew about the topic is beside the point.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there because I make sure everyone knows the topic before I invite them. So whatever you're insinuating, dude, not cool.
Who, me?
Who is
Oh,
this?
come on. It's Christmas time. Let's be goddamn happy.
So why don't I tell you guys about my channel?
So what happened to Queen Prince? Where'd he go?
I have no idea.
He left when I started to bring up, like, why would you join a stream if you don't understand what the topic is? Because he doesn't know anything about KRAUT and T. And then, no, it needs to be discussed. Like, I'm tired of the pussyfooting around that everybody in this community does.
They told him what it was.
And it's like, we mentioned Jeff, and then it's just like, we should change the subject because I don't know anything about it. Well, I'm sorry, that's what part of the stream is about. I mean, it's like, that's why we're here.
Also, I linked in the side chat the tweet that Jeff responded to me about, which sort of incriminates him pretty badly.
Ooh. Let's check it out.
It was in reference to something he literally said on Andy Worski's live stream yesterday.
Oh yeah, about how he found the evidence, so he shared it with everybody to figure out what he should do about the evidence that he found.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm about to screen share.
That's fine. I don't care. You can share. I mean, I don't have any personal information on this stuff.
All right, here it is. Is this the tweet?
Yep, it is.
So you want me to read it, or
I'll read it. I don't care.
all right, go ahead.
What do I do with this? Which was a quote that he said about the information about CRP on the Andy Worski live stream. And then I added Jeff Holiday. The answer is you don't DM it to a bunch of people because that's what he said he did. I don't even like Coach Red Pill, but you're wrong.
Oops. My bad. Hold on. All right.
And he responded, and you'd be right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, look at his response. He even liked the comment.
What? Is this real?
Pretty damning.
Some people just don't read the comments.
So why did Gabe leave?
Who?
Gabe.
Oh, maybe he's having trouble again with his. I don't know.
He's on the phone, and he keeps on saying that the Hangouts chain is having some problems with its phone, so that could be it.
Well,
Okay.
hopefully.
Let me also clarify, because I don't want this hanging out there, because I don't like shit hanging out there and to be left for interpretation. I'm not being mean or nasty to Prince of Queens just to be mean and nasty. I just feel that, certain things need to be said, and I understand you got a friendship with somebody, but when there's a topic and people want to talk about it, you can't tell people not to talk about it. It's not going to be met well, at least not with me.
Also, you guys know I don't take this on a personal level. I'm just giving you guys what I know, what has actually been said, and I'm not even in this, like, I don't do skeptic TM videos. I cook things.
That is a good point.
Like, I am a completely different genre.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I would be the complete opposite of you, because I literally fit to the quote from JonTron, "Baby, I burn eggs." I can't cook for shit.
Oh, I
That's all
got
I'm-
a video coming up just for you.
Okay, link your channel, please. I need help.
Okay, one sec.
He's got a real nice hot pocket recipe.
I never tried a hot pocket.
Pocket's racist. Stick your dick in it and find out.
Wait, what? Jesus Christ. What's with you and food porn recently?
I don't know. Girlfriend hasn't been putting, so I've been kind of agitated.
Okay, so if Cracker goes missing for the next few days, you know what happens.
Oh, she's gonna throw something at me! Ow! All right. So Are we?
Do we have anything more to say on the whole KRAUT and doxing and all that issue?
Yeah. So we talked. Are we? Are you all sad about all we talked about? Everyone's done. Put their word in.
I would like to say one more thing. I would urge everyone who hasn't done so yet to look at the tweet from Braving Ruin, who posted a link to 3 gigabytes of evidence, and decide for yourself who was actually taking part in doxing and fault flagging, all of that shit. And because what pisses me off the most is this whole guilt by association thing. This person was on the server, so they must be complicit in it.
Can I explain to you what I mean when I say that certain people are complicit in it? Because I don't think that everyone on that server was guilty.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about someone like Coach Red Pill, who in this video, and I understand his anger, but don't put out a claim saying everyone is guilty.
Yeah, well,
that really pissed me off.
He does things like that because he knows that once he's got a little article of truth, he can gish gallop his way into convincing people. That's like that, no joke. That's if you watch one of his videos, you'll be like, okay, well, this was truthful, and this is a lie.
So the best lies lie with has some truth.
Exactly.
My phone's going off. I'm sorry.
I also call him Old Man NoFap because he did a video a little while, like I want to say when he had like 4K subs, where he talked about how masturbation was bad for men.
Right, right.
What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So this entire situation with KRAUT, with the drama, with Zeph, with Liz, with everyone associated with it is a complete and utter dumpster fire. I think people would respond better if KRAUT just came out and said, "Yeah, I did this. I'm sorry," instead of prolonging it. You know.
Instead, in reality, what we're going to get is that he's going to be gone for 6 years, and then we're going to re-find him in Argentina.
He would still be dead in the water.
Germans go, apparently.
Yeah, his downfall was when he went after Rage Against the Storm. What's up, baby?
So strong.
Yeah,
Rage after Storm, not against the storm. That's Rage Against the Machine you're thinking about.
What'd I say?
Rage Against the Storm.
What was her username?
Rage
after Storm.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
He'd still be dead in the water, but at least he'd be able to walk away, with a bit of integrity, Instead, he just slinked back into the shadows like Voldemort.
I think if he goes back to his regular content rather than focusing on the whole alt-right thing, I think he'd be able to bring his channel back fine.
Yeah, because he was a good thing against the German government. And then he left.
I have no qualms with him because if he goes back to his normal content, I will watch it. I don't really care about the whole race realism because I already have my views, and I don't believe in the whole race realism thing. I don't think it has much of a standing personally.
Well, I think that he deleted everything, so I don't think you're going to ever see it from him again.
I didn't quite understand what you just said there because you kind of like robot or something.
He completely deleted everything on YouTube and closed down his Patreon and everything. So
well, he could have privatized everything, actually.
Well, true. He could have privatized.
Yeah, he still got his views up, so he probably just privated them.
Anyways, I have nothing against him. I didn't really care for his content with on the alt-right stuff. I only watched I think one against it, and I was fine with it. I didn't see anything particularly wrong with it personally. Although I think he should have listed his sources. That was my only nitpicking that I would say. But that I didn't really care for the topic because I don't need to hear all that much about it because I already have made up my mind on that issue, and so I don't think it's a very big topic. You can go on and on about.
I think we can end the stream on that note. Let's go ahead because me and Geek need to play some Battlefront. So, but let's see what the chat has to say. When Prince, no, dude. Yo, I have the DM of what I sent you, Prince.
Perhaps he misread it. It's easy to misread things.
Well,
Mainly because most of us don't read. Let's.
I would assume that the DM only says like the KRAUT server, or did you mention Jeff Holiday in the DM?
I didn't even know Jeff Holiday was about this.
See, okay, that's probably where the problem is because Prince of Queens hasn't heard of the whole KRAUT server thing as he stated in here. So he really had no idea that we would be talking about Jeff Holiday.
But this kind of like goes on to the who gives a shit what Jeff Holiday thinks. I mean, he can comment on something that he hears, and if Jeff wants to hold him responsible for saying, well, I heard something shitty and I agree it's shitty. I mean, it's like
you gotta understand his point as well, though.
I understand his point of view, but I mean, if your friend's gonna put you in that position to say, how dare you say that's shitty if that's what you heard and that's all you know? I mean, it's I don't know, man. This whole blindly defending people because they're friends.
He didn't defend him. Sorry,
no,
but
I'm just saying. But the whole like let's get off the topic because this is a friend of mine. I mean, like I'm not trying to attack the guy, but I'm just saying it's like we were having an honest conversation, and then at the end you want to tell me, hey, move on because he's a friend of mine. That's not the way you do it. Like
I had no idea Jeff was involved, but whenever I message people about hey you coming on, I make sure I talk about the points. I did say we're going to talk about Star Wars, net neutrality, and the KRAUT and T drama. So I'm sorry, Queen Prince, that that happened, but some things I agree with Geek that need to be talked about. However, hopefully you'll come on next time. I honestly had no idea that Holiday was involved, and I don't even know who he is. So, yeah. So, anyone else want to talk? So there's not an awkward silence.
About that net neutrality.
I came on here for just the net neutrality and the whole KRAUT drama. I didn't really care about the whole Star Wars thing personally, but that's
heathen. Burn him.
So
I don't want to
net
talk about net neutrality because it's kind of boring. But y'all talk about it.
Yeah, you can always watch my stream with Rylu and my BF on that.
Oh, Rylu, I haven't heard from him in a while.
We have a stream on my channel if you guys want to watch that on net neutrality.
Awkward silence.
Okay. Were you wanting to end it here, Cracker? Cracker?
How long has this been going on?
I have no idea. I think we've been on here for 2 hours.
Jesus
I'm
Christ, whose phone is so fucking busy all stream?
I think
That's mine.
So, are we ending it here or Cracker?
Yeah.
Are we ending it here or are we continuing?
Yeah, let's go ahead and end it here. Go ahead, Dane, start with you and then go to Big Fat Brian, Geek, Minding, Outlaw, Zick Commander, and myself. Go ahead, do shameless plugins. And thanks for coming on, everyone. Thanks for coming on, Prince. Thanks for coming on, Fingerprint.
Finer print.
That was his name. Everyone who came on and who watched, thank you so much for supporting the show. So Dan, go ahead and do a shameless plug-in.
Okay, well, I don't really have much content out right now, but I actually have a lot that's coming out. So you can find me at A Son of a Blonde on YouTube or A Son of a Blonde on Twitter. So yeah.
Mr. Chef.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were going the other order. My bad. My name's Big Fat Brian. I do a cooking channel in which is mostly comedic rather than learning based. And I also run a diet vlog. You guys should check it out.
Geek.
Oh, I have a channel. I do things, and I piss people off on a regular basis. I guess, I don't know. It's my thing.
As we've seen.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I also have a YouTube channel, sub to Minding Freedom. And I'm also on Twitter, and I mean, ultimately you could find me probably on any social media platform, Minds, Gab, Maker Support, Patreon, fuck whatever. Just not Facebook, because fuck Facebook.
But I like Facebook. Okay, my name is Rational Outlaw. You can follow me on YouTube. I also have an alternate YouTube channel called Mr. Rational Outlaw, and I'm on Minds.com, Gab, Facebook, Twitter, all sorts of different social media. So go follow me there. Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. Oh no, it's Z.
Is it Commander?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, Z Commander. I have a BitChute channel, also Z Commander. Then Gab and mine's also Z Commander. And then there's Twitter, just Valentino. That's all.
I'm the Critical Cracker, and I do videos on YouTube. So if you'd like a free blowjob, please subscribe.
Still waiting on mine.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for some here too.
Thanks again for watching, and remember to check out my social media pages. It's in the doobly-doos. So thanks again. Bye.